Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of the Vegas Nation Stadium Show, where we bring you the latest information regarding Allegiant Stadium as it nears that expected completion date of July 31st. I'm your host, Cassie Soto. Joining me in studio is Stadium Insider for the Las Vegas Review-Journal, Rick Velotta. Rick, a pleasure as always.
Always nice to be here, Cassie.
Well, thanks for stopping by. Well, instead of sending out roses or chocolates on Valentine's Day, Rick, the builders of Allegiant Stadium sent out a tweet on Valentine's Day saying that the big lift had been completed. It feels like that was a long time coming.
It was a long time coming and a surprise, actually. No, I don't think anybody really expected that information was going to be forthcoming. We had been told for a long time that May was going to be the earliest they would get to completion of the lift. But lo and behold, there it was in February. So I think everybody breathed a sigh of relief when that came out.
Right. Well, when we went on a tour earlier this week at Allegiant Stadium, I think we were surprised to see some blue mesh netting going up there on the northeast corner of the stadium. It was a few strips that were there, but now it looks like it's coming together. Do we know what that is yet exactly?
It's a safety netting, basically, and what that is that workers can actually work from that netting, and it prevents any of the pieces from the roof to fall to the floor. But it also is just a platform basically for people to do their work. And I've seen some videos of guys that are actually on that netting, which is kind of scary if you think about it.
Some brave men, yes.
Yeah, but very skilled laborers, obviously. But the thing is that it's something that is going to be over the entire ceiling area, which is going to be important towards actually completing this.
Yeah, so I mentioned we went on the tour. When we went, we saw about 2 strips, so that was on Tuesday. If you're watching this video now, we can take a look actually at our live cam, 24-hour live stream of the stadium at reviewjournal.com. If you look there, Rick, so I said we saw 2 of the blue paneling, mesh, I should say, and now it looks like it's coming along pretty well.
Pretty much the entire east side of the stadium right there.
Right.
And I think one of the things that's kind of important to note about this, the way they have this set up is that originally they were talking about having this done over a period of time using one crane. Well, now they have multiple cranes inside the stadium on the floor, so they can do it a lot faster. I don't know the exact number of cranes that are there, but the fact is that they'll be able to work at a greater pace thanks to those cranes all being in place and you know, lifting pieces of the roof up to the level where so the workers can install it. They also have to put some metal framing in first before they can actually put that in. So that's going to probably happen over the next week or so.
Okay.
We'll see it eventually. It's going to grow out and we'll be seeing the ETFE going in as well.
Right, well, you mentioned that. I'll just jump ahead now because I think what everyone wants to know, the roof is obviously the focal point here.
It is.
Everyone kind of wants to see
Signature attraction.
Signature attraction. They want to see it get done. They keep asking us about it. I mean, I can only report what I know here, guys. But as far as what we do know, when do we think we can start seeing some of that ETFE paneling go on? Maybe over the blue mesh? Is that kind of how it's going to work?
Well, it'll eventually that mesh will go away, I believe. And what the plan is that it's going to take several weeks to do that. 7 acres of roof, so we're talking a lot of area that has to be covered.
Right.
So it's going to take a little bit of time. It wouldn't surprise me if they got it in by April or May, but that's the progress that they're making.
All right. Well, as always, we just showed you there the 24-hour live stream, so you can keep an eye on it. Stop hassling us every day about it. Look for yourself. Reviewjournal.com, the 24-hour live stream of Allegiant Stadium. Well, another key feature we saw on our tour was that field tray, also a staple piece of Allegiant Stadium. 4 feet tall, 9,500 tons. That progress is coming along as well. It's
pretty amazing to see it out there because. And I actually went down to a similar tray that they have at State Farm Stadium in Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals play. And it's still amazing, though, to move this vast tray full of grass and irrigation system and heating elements and everything else so that they can pull that all inside. They'll probably do that on Fridays before game days. And then that way it can kind of you know, the surroundings are all going to be in place, and everything.
Assimilate to the temperature.
Yeah, anything that can be fixed that can be fixed. Maybe freshen up some of the logos on the field, things like that. So that will happen Friday before. So that leaves that big space on the south side open. So what are they going to do? They're going to have an experience there for people who are coming to the game. They'll be actually able to see some things and maybe meet players, legends, not existing players, legend players, and the like at that particular area prior to every game.
Yeah, well, every day this stadium looks more and more like a stadium, Rick, and inside it's definitely coming together with the start of the 65,000 seat installation, seeing those rows of black seats. It's pretty amazing to see it all come together.
Yeah, I think that there were a lot of folks that were curious about what the colors of the seats were going to be, and it's going to be a mix in there. Black, silver, well, surprise, what a shock that is.
No hot pink here, though.
And then you'll be able to see these seats going in little by little. When we went through there were several rows that were already completed. Some of them were already, the black seats were out, and some of them are still in their cardboard boxes, but they at least put them in place. And something that's interesting to note about these seats is that they go on a rail system, and that rail system can be adjusted so when it comes time for these special events like Super Bowl and they want to increase the capacity of the building, they can just push some of those seats a little closer together and put extra seating in there. You think about how many rows of seats there are, you can kind of imagine that the capacity can be expanded quite a bit.
Wow, do we know the number of how much more it can be?
They're talking about 70,000 seats total, and right now they're at 63.5. Working stadium, 65,000 seats basically. So, it's expansive, and it's one of those things that's going to have a little bit of flexibility to it in case there are some really big, important events. And there's a lot of cool stuff that could be coming here in the future.
Yeah, all right. Well, way to hit me there on our next question for you, Rick. The Review Journal came out with an article saying that we could possibly see Real Madrid and Barcelona take the pitch, I should say. Could possibly be the first event held at Allegiant Stadium. It's just a summer tour, so it won't be El Clásico for the fans out there, but it'll more than likely still draw a huge crowd. Rick, why is it important for a stadium like this to kind of have a soft opening, a launch ahead of the Raiders playing in there?
Well, you know as well as I do how popular football is in this community, and to have some high-profile teams as Real Madrid and Barcelona playing on that pitch, that will draw a lot of people. Well, the idea is to try to bring a lot of people in so they can kind of do a test run. They don't want to go open the place up for the first Raiders game, the first regular NFL home game, and not having had a huge crowd in there. So this is both a test for them as well as a featured attraction for an event that could come to Las Vegas, and a great example, incidentally, of the types of things that can happen with that stadium and why it's so important to our tourism economy.
Right. All right, Rick. Well, thank you as always for stopping by. I can't wait for our next tour.
That'll be good.
All right, well, that will do it for us. But for continued Allegiant Stadium news and including a 24/7 live stream of the stadium, head on over to reviewjournal.com or download the Review Journal app. For Rick Velotta, I'm Cassie Soto. Thank you for watching our Vegas Nation Stadium show.